Hi, my name is Art Nielsen. I'm a psychiatrist, psychoanalyst, and couple therapist in Chicago. I'm an associate professor at Northwestern's Medical School, and I'm on the faculty at the Family Institute at Northwestern and also the Chicago Institute for Psychoanalysis. And I'm going to talk to you about a paper that's just been published in JMFT. The title of the paper is Psychodynamic Couple Therapy, a Practical Approach. So this paper is about one of the three main pillars or approaches to couple therapy that I cover in a more general work, which is my recent book called A Roadmap for Couple Therapy. In this paper, I talk about the psychodynamic approach. So the first part of the paper deals with the common denominators that all couples therapists who practice from a psychoanalytic point of view believe in. And the first is that we believe in unconscious mental processing, especially we believe in the importance of unconscious wishes, fears, and defenses. And then we see how those relate to basic human concerns, including trust, dependency, autonomy, intimacy, guilt, shame, respect. These issues that underlie so many couples fights about other issues. The third issue is that we believe in the idea of unconscious schemas of self and other and interaction, that these are maps of how people conduct themselves in their intimate relationships. And we believe that these are developed in childhood and then subsequently in later intense emotional intimate interactions. Another common thread is that we are interested in how therapists react emotionally to their patients. And this is tremendously important in terms of sizing up who the other guy is, what it would be like to be married to that person. And then sometimes our feelings can get in the way of conducting the therapy. So we are interested in our countertransference reactions to patients. And then the last thing is I think most contemporary psychoanalysts believe that cure comes from a combination of growing self-awareness, or what we call insight, and opportunities for new learning. And the opportunities for new learning are particularly great in the couple therapy format because the couple get to interact with each other live and in color with you, trying to help them do better. Then the majority of the paper discusses these issues in terms of 5 practical foci or approaches that are useful to a psychodynamic approach to couple therapy. And the first is simply underlying issues, these issues that I was just mentioning. The second is the idea that people have different subjective realities and that they're often conflicted about these. So for instance, a man or a husband or wife coming home an hour after they said they would come home, that could be seen as they're being irresponsible and not really loving their spouse, or it could be that they're extremely responsible because they're willing to go the extra mile when the boss called on them. It's not obvious how you define this, and couples often argue over their differences in subjective reality. The third focus that I discuss in the paper is the important idea of transference, the idea that we have transference fears towards our partners and expectations that actually turn out to not be true and often get in the way. So exposing these as well as the unconscious wishes from childhood, bringing these out is tremendously useful. The fourth is related to transference. It's the concept of projective identification, which goes beyond transference and includes the idea that people script others to interact with them in ways that allow them to work out unfinished business from the past or to locate distressing feelings that they can't contain in an intimate partner. The last focus of the paper is the idea of acceptance. Now, we all marry someone, whoever we marry a set of problems. Often it's better to come to terms with those rather than trying to change them. As Gottman's pointed out, there are perpetual problems that couples will probably have forever. And so a psychodynamic approach will help people accept who they are and accept their partner for who that partner is, rather than constantly going to battle to try to get that person to change. So those are the 5 main approaches that I find useful when working with couples from a psychodynamic point of view. And I cover those in my paper. I give 2 detailed case examples that try to bring them to life for you. And I hope this has piqued your interest and that you'll read my article. Thanks.